Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It is Sunday. We're about an hour and a half away from kicking off for today's games, getting set up for my live stream. I will be live streaming starting at 1 o'clock, watching the Eagles game and the Washington game, as well as around the NFL. So I hope you guys join in. But I wanted to bring up something here because, see, I am, as you all know, I'm here at the Red Brick House, a house that is 205 years old now. And I love history. And history, if you don't know where you're going, where you've been, you certainly don't know where you're going. And that has always been my mantra, because what you learn so much from the past on how to deal with the future. You learn what mistakes, excuse me, mistakes that you may have made, and hopefully learn from them and figure out how to do things better. Now, the beginning of the season, it was easy to say, Mike Zimmer is an idiot. Get rid of the guy. And by all means, I'm not saying that we have a great defense right now, but nobody builds things overnight. It takes time. It takes time to implement your system. It takes time to get the players. And we've been hamstrung because we've had Jerry Jones, who has not gone out there to try and help get the instant impact by getting players that we need to build this roster with. He is kind of like, we're just going to build through the draft. And on top of that, when you lose four players in one position like we have at defensive end, you can't expect them to be playing lights out. Now, I know everybody goes through and they think that it's just one player that makes you great, but it's not. It's a collection of 11 guys, all knowing what they need to do, where they need to be. And I remember early in the season when Micah Parsons was talking about people showboating, basically people not knowing what their assignment was and basically going on our own, which would leave gaps and we would get gashed. And see, here's what I want you to understand is you have to understand how football is designed. Your interior defensive linemen, their job is not to get tackles. Their job is to control the line of scrimmage. So that way the linebackers can get the plays. And you may see a guy you may see Mozzie Smith in the middle of the field, and he's nowhere near the ball carrier, but he might grade out really well in the play because he ended up taking on the double team and holding the ground, forcing the ball carrier outside, where the linebackers, where you get an overshown, who's speeding to the ball carrier, unmolested, makes the play. And that's how the defense is designed to work. So when you see, oh, Mozzie, he only got 4 tackles, man. One tackle for a loss and a quarterback hit. He didn't do shit. Well, actually, he did. He did what the defense was designed to do, which is why then Micah Parsons and Overshown feast. That's just trying to give you a little idea on how the defense works. You're not going to see Mozzie Smith with 120 tackles and 14 sacks as an interior defensive lineman. That just doesn't happen unless you are Reggie White or, Chris Jones or Aaron Donald, which are complete freaks of nature, in which case you build the defense around those guys to support them. So when we think about Mike Zimmer, we had a lot of players out of position. We had a lot of players that were new to the system, as in we signed them during training camp and brought them in and plugged them in, and we're expecting them to know the calls, know the defense, know their assignments and everything else. And that's just not the case. Now, here's the thing I talked about last night. I said, is it far-fetched that Mike Zimmer could become our head coach if they decide to move on from Mike McCarthy? I don't think it is, but here's the thing. Here's what I want you to understand here. Think about this for a second. In 2017, Mike Zimmer, a guy that we said is trash, that he sucks, okay? Mike Zimmer went 13-3 with Case Keenum as his quarterback. Case Keenum. That defense that he built was the number one scoring defense and number one in yardage. Taking the ball away, not like Dan Quinn. They were 23rd. But that defense was outstanding, and they went to the NFC Championship game again with Case Keenum. Here's the thing. I want you to take a listen to the collection of players that he had developed on that team. He had Anthony Barr at one linebacker, and he had Eric Kendricks. That's the other one. We've got Eric Kendricks now. Eric Kendricks at that time had 113 tackles, one sack, and 6 quarterback hits. And Eric Kendricks is still playing really well. When you think about Anthony Barr, right now you look at Overshown, and you say Overshown is a better linebacker or becoming a better linebacker than possibly Anthony Barr did. But then you start thinking about guys that they developed. And Daniel Hunter, left defensive end, who just got paid, right? You can look at that and say, you got Micah Parsons there. You've got, of course, Overshown there. Linval Joseph, okay, who we have, so of course, signed now, who's a lot older. You can look at that and say, Mozzie Smith could become a Linval Joseph. I know that's far-fetched for a lot of you guys, but it is possible as he's making a progression. The guy is very, very young and only in his second year. Xavier Rhodes, we got Diggs. Harrison Smith, another a free safety, great free safety. Adam Thielen. Not Adam Thielen. Trey Waynes on the other side. We got Deron Bland. They had Emerson Griffin, who was another right defensive end for him. You could see Sam Williams developing into that with the right coaching and some health. You could see Marshawn Nealon developing in there. You can see, they had Tom Johnson on there, strong safety, Andrew Senjo. So what I'm saying is this. You have some of the pieces in place right now, similar to what Mike Zimmer had back then. And he developed these players. All these players weren't exactly, first-round draft picks and things. Anthony Barr, let's see, where was Anthony Barr drafted? Okay, hold up. Born, let's see, 6'5", 257, outside linebacker, 32. Damn, he's old as shit. Okay. Draft info. Anthony Barr was a first-round pick. Okay, forgive me on that one. Okay, Anthony Barr. Daniel Hunter. Where was Daniel Hunter drafted? Third round. Okay. Daniel Hunter was a third-rounder. Linval Joseph was a second-rounder. Eric Kendricks, second-rounder. Harrison Smith. Harrison Smith was a first round. Okay, they did spend a couple of first-round picks on that. Emerson Griffin, fourth-rounder. So it was a mix. Okay, I think there was 2 first-round picks in there. 2 first-round picks, but most of them second, third, fourth-round players. So what my point being is here, maybe you might want to keep Mike Zimmer around to develop these players, especially with, you do not want to lose Al Harris. You do not want to lose Al Harris because they are developing cornerbacks like crazy. Now, we've been hit by injuries, which has slowed down this defense, but people, you may have actually a good defensive coaching staff in place right now. All right, you good people. I got to go finish mulching the flower beds here before the games kick off and finish getting my stream set up and get ready for the games. Hope you guys tune in, and I'll see you soon. Peace.